Welcome back. We're continuing our look at some of the really interesting things Ajmal's been writing on his website, theborderofamind.com.
Right.
And Ajmal's doing some really fascinating writing,
Absolutely.
kind of exploring these big life questions.
Yeah.
And today, we're going to be taking a look at one of his posts called Hope That Doesn't Disappoint.
Interesting title.
Yeah. And, before we jump into that, just want to remind you, you can find a ton of Ajmal's writing, thoughts, art, all sorts of interesting stuff over at his website, theborderofamind.com.
Borderofamind.com.
So check that out. But, let's jump into this post. Hope that doesn't disappoint.
Hope that doesn't disappoint, yeah.
So have you ever had like a moment in your life where you're just so disappointed by something that it almost like made you not even want to hope for anything anymore?
Totally.
Like what's even the point?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like that feeling when you just feel so let down. And you almost want to give up on hope completely.
Why bother?
Like what's even the point of getting your hopes up if they're just going to get crushed?
Yeah.
So, that's something that Ajmal really gets at in this post. He's basically saying that instead of us pinning all our hopes on these outside things, things that can change all the time, things we can't really control, we should try to base our hope on something bigger than that, something more constant.
Yeah, think about it. You put your hope in something, and then that thing changes, or it goes away. That's going to be a problem,
Yeah, and I love how he uses those analogies in the post.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the giant oak tree.
Yeah, the oak tree.
It's like weathered all these storms.
Right.
And it's still standing strong.
Still standing.
Or the lighthouse, like its beam is cutting through the fog and the darkness, and it's helping those ships, find their way to safety.
Yeah, it's like a guide, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Leading you home, even when you can't see where you're going.
It's a really powerful image, I think.
Absolutely.
And it kind of makes you think about, what is that constant in my own life?
Right.
Like what is that unwavering source of hope that I can hold on to?
Exactly. What's that thing that's always there for you, no matter what?
And I think for some people, it might be, a spiritual belief.
Sure.
Their faith.
Absolutely.
For others, it could be a connection to nature.
Yeah.
Or even just, a really strong belief in humanity, that people are good.
That's a good one.
It's really a very personal thing.
It is.
But it's about finding that something that gives you that strength.
The foundation, right.
Yeah. And it's interesting because, in psychology, there's a whole field of study.
Right.
It's called hope theory.
I've heard of that.
And basically what it suggests is that hope isn't just, wishful thinking. It's not just like, oh, I hope I win the lottery.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's more about this active process.
Right.
Of you setting goals for yourself, identifying ways that you can actually achieve those goals,
right,
and believing in yourself, believing in your ability to overcome obstacles.
So it's not passive, it's like you're actively involved in creating that hope.
Yeah, exactly. And that makes a lot of sense to me. But I also wonder, what happens when the thing that you've put your hope in, that constant in your life, what happens when that gets shaken up a bit?
Yeah, that's a good question. What happens when that foundation is challenged?
Yeah, like what if, what if that thing that you always thought was going to be there for you, it isn't?
Right.
Or what if it changes in a way that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, because that happens, right? Like life throws curveballs.
Yeah, it does.
Things change. The things we thought were constant, sometimes they're not so constant after all.
Right. So how do you deal with that?
Well, I think that's kind of where Ajmal's message comes in.
Okay.
It's not about being naive and thinking that everything's always going to be perfect or that you're never going to have any setbacks.
Right.
It's more about having that solid foundation, that bedrock of hope that can support you even when things get tough.
So even when that disappointment comes knocking, you can still, weather the storm.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like remembering that lighthouse.
Right.
Even when the seas are rough and you can't see clearly.
It's still there guiding you.
Yeah. I think Ajmal's perspective on all of this is really powerful.
It is.
And it's definitely given me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
In terms of, how I can cultivate a kind of hope.
Right.
That can help me through those tough times.
A hope that doesn't disappoint.
Exactly.
I think that's a great way to put it.
So, yeah, if you want to read more of Ajmal's work, check out his website, theborderofmind.com.
Borderofmind.com.
It's a really fascinating blog. And we'll be back again soon.
Absolutely.
There's another commentary
on
some more of his writing.
I'm looking forward to it.
So stay tuned.
All right.
See you next time.